Back, everybody. Kip Kiefer and the legend on Talking Sports. SEC Media Days,
Yes.
right down the block here.
Right down the block.
All of the greats and near greats from the SEC have been converging. I have spent a lot of time listening to coaches' presentations, reading analysis. Not a whole lot of headlines coming out of these 4 days. Cut to the chase.
Really, it's boring.
It's pretty bad.
Should have had Kip and the legend. Can you imagine the legend asking Nick Saban a question?
Well, you got to spice it up. Okay. Nick Saban, of course, is the star of the show.
Okay.
Anybody who thinks otherwise is just kidding themselves.
Yes.
He did say a couple of interesting
Yes, he
things.
did.
I particularly kind of liked the fact that, because if you ask Nick a question, after he looks disgusted, he usually will answer it.
Yes.
And the question came up about his thoughts on the transfer portal, which to me sounds like a Star Trek thing. You know, I'm
Beam me up, Scotty.
I'm at Florida. I'm not happy. Beam me up, Michigan. Right away, sir. And boom, their molecules
gone.
disappear, and they're wearing a
Really?
different uniform.
Like free agency.
But they asked him about, and that was the word he used. Nick Saban said the NCAA has let this get out of control. It basically now is college football free agency.
Yes, I agree with you totally, Kip. And, football has to get to the point, Kip, where we lock these kids in 4 years at one university. I think eventually this will hurt the game. It will not help it. I'm an old school guy. I love the days where the same guy that was a freshman defensive end at Alabama is a senior, and I get to see that development.
Well, there's got to be some repercussions for transferring.
Yeah.
Because now you've just got this immediate ability to leave one school and be suited up the very next season. So, what's to stop any quarterback from just saying, hey, their quarterback graduated, they're going to have a better team than mine. I want to be at the controls of that outfit. I mean, you make a commitment to the school. Of course, the counter argument is, well, the players don't get paid. They need to have freedom of movement. They get a free college education, room and board, exposure to, if they have the talent, take their abilities to the next level and get heavily compensated.
Yes.
I'm not against the players getting some funding, but I don't think that's a reason to give them unlimited access to go wherever they want.
Yeah, I agree with you totally.
All right, so we're going to do a little fun. We're going to have a little fun
Let's
here.
have some fun here.
We're talking about the coaches and how boring the whole proceeding is. We're going to do a little role playing.
Let's do it. I love
and
it.
we're going to play the roles of coaches to say what we really want to say.
Yeah, what they really said at SEC Media
So
Day.
I'll start.
Okay.
Kip and the legend didn't get no credentials to the SEC Media Days, but I did. My name is Billy Bob Buford from the Bug Tussle Bugle. And I have a question for you, Coach Saban.
Yeah, bring it on.
Coach Saban, everybody says Clemson is better than Alabama. What do you say to that?
Well, I think it's a stupid question. I don't like the media, but I'm up here anyway because my contract makes me be up here. I'm much smarter than you. I've always been smarter than everybody in the room. That's the whole room, okay? Now, I want you to understand this, right? The combined whole room. I want you media members to get this straight. It was the coach's fault. They had their mind elsewhere. They didn't get the players ready, and I told you that this week. Their minds were in Maryland and places that it didn't need to be, and I got rid of every one of them. And the staff I have now, I've made it clear there will be some waterboarding going on if this happens again.
Thank you, Coach Saban. Okay, I want to be Kirby Smart. Ask me a
All
question.
right, I'm Gene Boobaboo from the Georgia Gazette, and I would just like to ask you the question, Kirby, that every Bulldog fan wants to know. Can you, and when will you beat Alabama?
Well, last year we had them beat. I had a perfect play call. That fake punt was a perfect play call. The Alabama coaches, they're such a mess. There's so many of them, 21 consultants, all these people on the field. They didn't get in the right defense. They were in the wrong coverage, and it screwed up my whole play. So that wasn't my fault. We had the play called. Everybody says it's a disaster. We had Justin Fields out there as the short man on the punt, but why did that tip anybody off? It's been unfair, unjust. And the other thing, Alabama the last couple of years, they keep changing quarterbacks. That screws up all of our defensive scheme. They can't do that. That should be against the rules.
Come on, Kirby. Will you beat Alabama, Kirby?
This year, we're going to get him this year. All right, real quick, you're Gus Malzahn.
Oh, no.
Gus, I'm Ashley Allvad from one of the local television sports affiliates. I need to ask you about, are you going to let Kenny Dillingham, the new offensive coordinator, actually call the plays?
Well, down at Auburn, where the grass grows green and the cows grow large, who calls the plays is not important. It's the end result. And I got $49 million in the bank, and I feel like Auburn's going to give me $49 million more after I blame this freshman quarterback and this OC this year for this 8-5 season coming up. But otherwise than that, we're doing good. We're doing things. We're getting places. We're not accomplishing much, but things are good at Auburn.
So what you're saying is, if the team wins, it's because you've succeeded, and if the team loses, it's because the quarterback and the offensive coordinator have failed.
There I go again on my own, going down the only road I've ever known.
On that note, we have to go to break.
Like
back
a drifter,
after this.
I was born, Gus, to walk alone, but I made up my mind.